Okay, it's been a hot minute, so let's talk about the Conjuring house. Obviously, the sale was supposed to take place, or at least the auction was supposed to take place, on October 30th of 2025, a few days ago. Obviously, that didn't take place. The auction was cancelled because the banknote was actually sold from Needham Bank to an unknown buyer. We don't know who bought the debt. Well, not everyone knows who bought the debt, at least, because I've got an inkling that Jason Hawes is probably aware of who may have bought it, but he's not given anything away. I don't know that for certain. He's not told me specifically that he knows, but I've got a feeling that he knows more than he's letting up. Now, with regards to all of this, of course, this is a big development within the paranormal community. And Jason uploaded a video a few days ago, which I'm going to go over because there was obviously some very interesting things that I found within that video specifically. But let's take a look at the GoFundMe efforts to begin with. So right now, the GoFundMe effort is on $295,238. Of course, getting an absolutely enormous boost from that $100,000 donation that took place last week from an unknown person. And what I find really interesting as well is, of course, Jason actually amended the GoFundMe target from... It was 1.5 million down to 600,000, then down to 500,000 to reflect this. So actually, they're 60% of the way there. But then, when you also take into consideration that Jason is matching dollar for dollar every single one of these donations, it makes it incredibly interesting, of course, up to $1 million, right? But Jason, like I said, uploaded this video to his YouTube channel on October 30th, 2025. Within the description, he spoke about how they have surpassed $285,000. Of course, they've now smashed that by $10,000 already within the past few days. But there was some very interesting things said within this video, so we're going to go through it today. I'm going to share my thoughts and opinions on this and kind of give some insights where I can and where necessary. So let's take a little look at what Jason had to say.
Hey everybody, Jason Hawes here. So I wanted to take a few minutes and fill everybody in on what's been going on. So as you see, I haven't done an update in the last couple of days, and there's been a reason behind that, and we'll get into that. But I want to congratulate everybody. First off, this community has come together, and we've been able to raise over $285,000 to help preserve and save the Conjuring house, which is, and that's from people all around the world who've stepped up, who wanted to be a part of this, who just want to see it done better. And the whole idea behind the GoFundMe has been, I was asked to step in and get involved in a property that I had said numerous times I didn't want to be a part of. But after Andrea made her plea, I felt I had to do something. So I stepped in. And then I decided that, all right, well, I didn't want this to be a thing that I had to charge all this money for. I didn't want to have to charge the historic prices that they were charging in the past. So...
Now, Jason's caught some flack for that from Elton Castate in particular because, of course, Jason has said this in the past and spoke about recent properties, referring to the Warren Museum. And Elton Castate also believed that he was referring to the Warren Museum and felt like he was a little bit targeted by that because of the high prices that are being charged over at these different properties. And I know for a fact that in this instance, because Jason has reiterated this to me, he's actually talking about the prices that Jacqueline Nunez had set for the property, not talking about other properties. He's talking about the prices that Jacqueline had set. So, of course, the Side-Eye Guy did a fantastic breakdown on this. When he went to the Conjuring house as a content creator, it cost almost $2,500 just to go there and film overnight. And you might not even get your video approved. Like, that's the craziest part in all of this. You might be able to film all of this, spend all that money, for Jacqueline to say, you're not allowed to post that, and then contractually, you're not legally obligated or allowed to post that. It's insane. So that's what Jason's referring to here.
I put feelers out there to the community and created the GoFundMe. And the GoFundMe was, the whole idea behind it was to raise money to offset my investment so I didn't have to seek so much money back in return, having to keep prices historically high like they were in the past, because I want everybody to be able to go there. I want everybody to be able to experience it. So we put the GoFundMe up, and people from all around the world stepped up. I mean, it's truly amazing. And we have some big donors who've really stepped in to help out as well. And with no expectations, no connections to the property, and I think that's important. So the whole idea here has been to offset the initial cost so we can keep prices low. because everybody should be able to go there. Everybody should be able to experience it. And I've seen people sit there and say things like, oh, why are you asking the community to buy you a house? I haven't. I just put feelers out there to see if the community would help offset the cost so we could save this property. And other people out there saying, well, if you have the money, why wouldn't you buy it? Again, if I bought it, paid all the cash out there, then I would have to charge the money that they charged in the past, $1,600 to $2,000 to $3,000 a night. And I don't want to do that to anybody. So this whole thing was about bringing the community together to try to see what we were able to accomplish. And it's turned into something so much more than I ever could have imagined. Let's be honest, I think more than any of us could have imagined. It has really blown up. And so kudos to every single one of you who've gotten involved, who've made this possible. Now, why haven't I done an update recently? Because specifically I was asked by legal and others not to for certain purposes. Now the original auction was supposed to happen tomorrow. Now we know that's not happening because another loan company picked up the debt. So we're waiting on some things, and I've had to be extremely careful with things that I've said or any knowledge that I have, because there's others out there who watch my videos, who are paying close attention to see if there's any inside information that they can get in hopes of trying to acquire this property apart from what we've all been doing as a community.
Now, obviously, Jason doesn't name names here, but we can all kind of put two and two together and see, who's been referenced. Obviously, CJ Faison has registered his interest. Sam and Colby have not registered their interest. They said that they were interested, but then they've chosen to endorse Jason instead. We obviously know that Matt Rife and Elton Castay are very interested in getting this house. And there have been a few other people that have spoken to me, haven't made it public, but have spoken to me and said, yeah, I want this property. So I'm sure Jason's probably got very similar messages as well, which means that, of course, he's trying to keep his cards close to his chest so that he doesn't give away any information that he has. But in doing so, has kind of given the game away that he knows something, or at least knows something more than what he's able to say. Of course, legally with all of this kind of stuff, it's kind of to be expected that would be the way that things go. You don't want to give away to the competition, because ultimately, if you're trying to raise funds for the community, why would you then give all the information to your competitors and kind of have people like the rug dragged from under people's feet? It makes sense in that sense, but again, it kind of adds into this idea that maybe there's a bit more to this than meets the eye.
And so it's trying to keep those cards close to my chest so nobody knows. Nobody has any inside information, or nobody knows what we know. Do we know stuff? I mean, whatever. I can't say anything.
All I can say is Jason's got a really bad poker face here. But I mean, he's true to his word. I've tried to find out stuff, given nothing away. He's been very true to his word there. I can vouch for that.
Bottom line. So, but things are going well. Things are going very well. And if all's said and done, hopefully in the next so many weeks, there will be a lot of information out there. Again, fingers crossed. But if something happens or something doesn't happen, well, then all donations get refunded. And I think that's the most important thing. Nobody loses out on anything. I've been dealing directly with GoFundMe. I've been dealing directly with attorneys from different areas. So this has been all about transparency, being honest, being open, not trying to pull any sneaky stuff. It's just me trying to be me, bottom line. So again, to everybody who's been a part of this movement, I appreciate it so much. Whether you've donated money, which of course helps, whether you can't and you've just been able to share, that greatly helps as well. Or even those who just didn't want to be a part of it. I totally understand it. This isn't trying to pressure anybody into anything. This whole thing has been about us trying to save a property and keep the prices low so everybody can go there. And I think that's important. And that's something that needs to be looked at as a positive. There's absolutely no negative in this scenario. So anybody out there who's trying to find a negative, I mean, you need to look at yourself. You really need to check out your inner self, because this whole thing This whole movement started with a plea that I decided to try to answer, and everybody decided to help me. Well, not even just help me. Everybody decided to come together to try to answer. So much love from me to you. And hopefully in the next 2-3 weeks, there'll be some good information, and we'll take it from there.
Very interesting, that timeline that, of course, Jason's given there, as well as saying, you know, hopefully in the next 2 to 3 weeks, we'll have some good information and I'll be able to share more with you. Again, it adds into this idea of, what does Jason know? Where is this going? How is this developing? What does he know behind the scenes? Obviously, Elton's made it very clear publicly, the house isn't for sale, the house isn't available. But if there's inside information that Jason knows, or he knows someone that knows someone that knows someone, for example, then strings can be pulled and, you know, things can get moving. So I guess this is where the developments are starting to really take place.
But hopefully everybody understands why I haven't been able to do some recent updates. But hey, the GoFundMe's still there. If you can, feel free to donate. If you can't, I totally understand. Times are hard. I mean, it's not easy for everybody. And if you don't want to be a part of it, I totally understand that too. We're trying to do something as a community. We're trying to do something that has never been done before, and we're doing it. I mean, no matter what, this has been a movement like none that I've seen in the past. I mean, the community has stepped up more than I've ever seen it step up. And not even just the paranormal community, people from around the world. I mean, we've had some big donors, which of course have been helpful. And those people have no ties to the property, no connection to the property, no expectations. It's just they wanted to help out because they're past friends, or, you know, whether they're YouTube people or whether they're TV people. And I think that means a lot. That really means a lot. So anyways, hopefully in the next few weeks, 2-3 weeks, there'll be a lot of other information. I believe it's going to be positive. You know, of course, that can change. But anyways, much love from me to you. Stay safe, everybody. Keep it real. And on to the next.
Very interesting update there from Jason. You know, I think the smile at the end said it all. Clearly, he's very, very keen with his information. And I think he definitely wanted to say more than he could say there. But of course, not everything's set in stone, as is always the case with just property in general. But I think people are they're switched onto this now. People are their ears are pricked up, they're keen to know more. And I think that is reflected within the GoFundMe with the efforts that have been made here. As after this video, a further $10,000 has been raised to the cause. So it just goes to show really that the movement and the you know, I guess the snowball effect of all of this. So what do you guys think of this? Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. I've seen a lot of people saying that it's just smoke and mirrors, but, you know, Jason's already admitted that, you know, if this doesn't go through, then he will refund everyone. And I've seen a lot of people who've messaged me and in comments being like, oh, it's a cash grab. A man who probably worked on TV for, you know, however long he was on TV. He's on social media now. He's probably making some money there. He's a plumber as well, of course, by trade. I can't imagine he would ruin his legacy for a couple of $100,000. In my mind, that just doesn't make any sense. Like, to just destroy everything that you've spent the past however long building, to just throw it all away. It makes no sense to me. But then again, I'm just me. Let me know what you guys think about all of this down in the comments below. While you're down there, jump scare the hell out of that like button, all the rest of it, and I'll speak to you later. Peace.